particular insight you want to give to us in terms of what they look for when it comes to the draft or the bands and stuff like that?
Um, hmm,
Thank you.
I'm trying to think about what's not too revealing to say.
Okay, as in for me, I'm completely like I have no stake in any of these teams, so I just have a really kind of good overview of analog, or at least I'll give some of a grand overview of analog. So for me, um, the superstar of the team is without a doubt Go Fake and Bamboozled, right? They're the three and
Yeah.
four position players on analog, and they kind of make they really push the tempo of the game. Go Fake likes to play the Sladas, likes to play the Mars, these heroes that can really dominate the lane, and then Boozled as well usually picks a lane dominator in the form of Hoodwink or Snapfire, rotates, and makes Snoopy Baby's life really easy. As for Snoopy Baby, he's a bit more of a wild card. Sometimes he has good games, sometimes he doesn't, but they pick this man just about anything. So that's kind of Snoopy Baby's thing. As a Batman, he is a bit more of a conventional. He's not really a conventional carry, but he has his heroes that he's good at, and he sticks to them. And Livoshka is a tried and tested hard support. Plays a lot of, specifically a very experienced Kotal, Witch Doctor, and Warlock player. So we can expect these heroes to come out. And to no one's surprise, Witch Doctor being picked up first because it is, after all, Livoshka hero, as well as we saw just now, the Granddad Gamer, 3,600 games on this hero, so comfort city for them.
Well, this is already an opener that's like out of the books for Owl.
Yeah, this is Analog just looked back to their old their standard manual, and they're just like, what do we got here? Okay, Bamboozle, let's get him his Hoodwink, and Lion as well. Just a solid stable position 5, probably for Livoshka. I want to talk about a bit about the bands. Is there anything that sticks out to you here? Because it's the AM and the Kanka bands coming out, and on the flip side, it's Odie and Morphling. Do you think this is protecting their opener in any sort of way, or do you think this is just a few heroes that they don't want to play against, like in general principle?
I have no read on the anti-mage Conquer bands. I have a pretty good feeling that the Odie and Morphling are target bands,
Okay. Okay.
specifically against the mid laner and safe laner, effectively.
Okay, so for me personally, this will be the first game of the Norwegian Italian coalition of dreams I'm casting, so it's gonna be really exciting to see what they bring. I'm just gonna make sure that I am saying all the players' names correctly, but I do know that, if I'm not wrong, one of these players is a stand-in. So I'm not exactly sure which one that is, but I'm gonna have to double check real quick. As we see a Slaughter band coming out, as expected, it's a Go Fake specialty. A CK band out in response, so some standard. I mean, CK seems to be a hero that's very contested, especially in this division. There's a lot of the carry players here like to play it. Let's check.
Yeah, I feel like it's just strong in the lane, right? It's just
Yep.
kind of
Okay.
simple.
So
Press Q, press W.
I can't really recognize the names over here, but I believe Lupo, Lupo is here. If the captain is correct, then that means creme de la creme should be Janny, who is the one who's drafting right now. The R BH should stand for Rasa Bassett, if I'm not wrong, and QB is here as well. So unless the Granddad Gamer is like Bushmeat or JBS, the Granddad
I
Gamer
think that's
should
a
be.
standard.
That should be the standard indeed. So as we move on further on to the draft, hang on, let me just make sure my audio is working throughout. There we go, play sound on desktop. And we have jug bands as well. A lot of focus on the carry bands, Invoker and Sven as well coming out from the side of the coalition.
I would think the okay, Invoker Bench should be to protect the first picks because you don't want to get disrupted while you're channeling your abilities, right? And I think the same thing with Sven, you kind of don't want to be channeling your abilities into a Sven that just jumps into you with Ags.
Yeah.
On the other side, Chaos Knight and Jug just more carry bands, I guess. There's a lot of respect for the enemy position one, I would imagine, and then Viper is just to protect what they normally pick, which is either like a Bristle Spectre that you've normally seen from the other games.
Yeah, so one thing about Analog that I refrain from mentioning because they want to reveal too much is that they really like their bristleback on Batman, and Batman being the one to draft, obviously, he's gonna try and give himself that at every given moment. This is something that they bring out a lot as well, the Viper's second phase ending ban. So it kind of covers stuff like Spectre, it covers things like covers things like Spectre, covers things like Bristleback, which they really like to pick, but they do end up going for the Go Fake Mars, which is a terror, alongside the Bamboozle Hoodwink. So this is already the initiation and the team fight being set up for Analog.
Oh man, having to play against this Mars in our game was pretty nightmarish.
Okay, speaking of nightmares though, Spiritbreaker, usually a hero that is absolutely insane in this first pick, first ban, I'm sure you're aware, Chiyo, but actually slips through to the second phase this time, and like you said, for good reason, right? It's up against the Mars, up against the Hoodwink, and Lion as well, all heroes that have a very convenient way of just breaking up that charge as long as they know where it's coming from. But it does kind of open up the fight for them, right? Because right now with Snapfire and Witch Doctor, these are not heroes that give vision to you to start the fight. These are not heroes that start the fight themselves. It's a very nice cookie target for Snapfire. And PA is going to be the carry pick here. Chiyo, you are a PA enjoyer yourself, so I need to ask you, what is the PA and Mars matchup like? Because as a Mars player, I don't feel, I feel pretty good about laning against a PA, but I don't know how you feel about it.
It should be relatively even. On one hand, like, I think Mars has the edge in terms of, like, being able to pressure you off creeps, but it's not like he's that threatening. You always blink out of arena, you can blink out of spears if you're near their coming. They pick Bristle and stuff.
Yeah,
this could be a little bit dicey. I feel like PA's shot here is really strong.
Yeah, so the PA, obviously, back in the past, right, always had these tough matchups where you're up against tanky heroes and you just can't do enough damage or can't burst them before they stand up and look back at you and just focus you down, right? But they do end up, I mean, with this new edition of the Fan of Knives being able to break everyone around you, it could be really scary because the Mars and the Bristleback, both heroes that need to be in the thick of things, right? And that opens up kind of like a small pocket for PA to just jump in, break them up, which is basically like what the Viper ban would have done, right? Or the Viper pick would have done. The final ban's coming in hot and fast though. Ember, Spirit, Spectre, and 2 mid lane bans in Quap and Lina. But the Coalition, they know what they want. It's gonna be a Tinker pickup. So this is a really interesting lineup from them.
Spicy.
Yeah, that is... They don't really have a save for the Tinker as well, so if they ever catch him out, like with a Hoodwink, Bushwhack into the trees or a spear or something like that, they could really lane the hurt and...
It didn't strike me as like a game where Analog was losing catch, right? They still have the Lion Blink, they still have like a potential Spirit mid. They did ban out the Ember, which would have been a way to like, you know, slide chain him down.
Yeah, okay, so really like, smart from them. The Spectre ban also, actually now that we look back on it, very telegraphed that they wanted a Tinker, right? Because Spectre would have really ruined this day, and Ember as well. But if you take a look at the Bristleback, which we know Batman likes to play in the position 1, it does not do anything against Tinker, like actually does not. You can't reach the Tinker, you can't kill the Tinker, you can't actually like push against him either. You're really gonna need to rely on this last pick alongside your Mars to try and make it happen here. Luckily for Analog though, they've been drafting real fast and quick, so they have a lot of reserve time to work with here. What is the pick for you think, Chiyo?
I feel like I like this hero too much, but Puck Void Spirit sounds good. You have a way to disrupt 2 channels on the backline if you didn't, you know, like catch them in the jump. You have a way to deal with Spirit Breaker charge. You can like silence Tinker in fights as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you already have enough ways to deal with PA before she hits like 4 items, like with Satanic Axe or something.
Yeah. For me personally,
like
yeah, I agree with you. I would like either Storm or Void Spirit depending on how comfortable Snoopy Baby might be on those, because I feel like it gives them the additional jump in catch they need for Tinker. The Spirit heroes, once they hit level 6 in the lane, that's where they can kind of really start pressuring the Tinker as well. And the only real thing you need to be worried about is Spirit Breaker charge coming in and Shadow Blade, right? Apart from that, the cookie in like so easy to telegraph and dodge. The Witch Doctor start as well. It's such a slow projectile. Like as a Witch Doctor player myself, every time I throw it out, I really have to look at it go and hope for the best, because Yeah, and it's gonna be a Void Spirit like you
Void
predicted.
Spirit, let's go.
Chiyo the Prophet, and right now, for those of you who aren't aware because you can't see the Discord call, we actually have a beautiful, beautiful stats man in our midst. It's Benji. Follow
Hello,
him at
how's
Benji
it going,
Dota.
guys?
Fresh from the UK, so we have a star-studded lineup with the cast here. Very beautiful stuff. But yeah, so is there any lineup that you're favoring here? Because I know which one I like. I'm
To be
Who is this? Is this
honest,
to me?
no, I'm posing this question to Chiyo.
Okay,
I feel
good.
like Analog is on a huge timer. This is like a 25-minute second rush and they have to end the game off it.
Yeah.
But then it's like you're trying to end the game against Tinker, Snapfire, Witch Doctor, and then you also have to deal with charge during the break on PAs. Like,
Right.
I
So
feel like there's a lot of ways for them to defend. So I would.
You also don't
probably
have
give them the edge.
you also don't have great tower damage on the side of Analog. Like
Yeah.
you have pretty good frontline with the Bristleback and the Mars, but in terms of heroes that sort of just delete towers, or even take Roche early, you know, you don't really have either of those things that will allow you to sort of get to this pretty fast pace to end the game before, you know, this Tinker comes online, this PA comes online. So I think I'm liking the coalition. Also, what was the game one result? Or is this game one?
this is game one, yeah. So
Okay, good.
so the thing about Mars and Bristleback is that they both are very good frontliners, but up against a Tinker, you know, all the frontliners, your HP
That's
can
true.
your HP can just
Yeah,
go to
your
shit, you know what I mean? But with
Yeah.
that said, we are into game number 1 of the Coalition versus Analog over here. A lot of concurrent WLDL games happening now, but if you're tuning in for this one, thank you for joining us. Let's introduce the teams over here. We have Lupo on this mid Tinker. I believe this is the Grandpa Gamer, but in this game he's named Nick, so let's call him that. Nick on the Witch Doctor, a signature hero of his, 3,600 games on this hero. So absolutely,
Ooh.
yeah, this man is crazy. Yeah, he has Grandmaster and all, just flexing it a little bit. Creme de la creme. I believe this is the captain on the Spirit Breaker off lane, and in the bot lane we have QB on the position 1 PA, backed up by R. I'm just gonna call them R on the Snapfire position 5. As for Analog though, why don't you introduce your homies?
Yeah, we've got the Captain and Grafter, Batman playing the Bristleback, one
Cool.
of his signature heroes that he's been playing a lot in this league. Ooh.
A tussle already though. Analog making a go forward, God's Rebuke out onto this Tinker could really help their game out if they get a first blood like this, and who better to get it on rather than Go Fake.
Yeah, I mean, GoFake has been, you know, quite the powerhouse in this team along with Bamboozler. Their
Mhm.
offlane is kind of like what everybody looks at when they're kind of looking at Analog.
Yeah.
Those two kind of really hold down the fort. Mid lane we have Sneepy Baby playing the voice for it. He's been kind of like a quiet player, but quite consistent performance, I think.
Mhm.
And finally, but you know, not least, we have Leboshka. He's finally moved away from playing your heal support and she's going to be playing Lion this game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what she can do because I feel like I'm so used to seeing her on a bit of more like, like you said, healing support, just making sure the Batman tides his way through the earlier stages of the lanes. But with this
Yeah,
Lion
it's
and
always been
Bristleback,
like,
yeah, they,
Warlock, Witch Doctor, Coddle type heroes. They're more about enabling
yeah.
the core rather than like actually directly finding pickups.
Okay, so
Are you expecting to see anything in these lanes?
yeah, I definitely am because I feel like PA and like this bot lane is gonna be really spooky for both sides, right? Because there's so much damage coming out both ways. Go Fake has to be a little careful. Oh, nice little pushback.
Nice.
Trading spells back and forth, obviously going into the way of Analog because they just have so much damage coming out early on. And like you said, the bot lane of Analog, or rather the off lane of Analog, really to put it into kind of like the proper terminology, it really is the tip of the spear for this team, right? Because they just kind of look at how much pressure they're putting out already.
I think they might have gotten the kill, but they split targets, and the Hoodwink was hitting Snapfire. But look how much pressure there is.
What? Just like that, hitting the level 2 first, getting the double wave and the aggression on, and so quickly they fall. QB, it's not first blood, but I mean, it's an early kill on your PA and she's still level 1, so that's not cute.
I feel like if there's any deaths in this lane, like PA is the worst person to die on. Because I think she's the most like, what's it called, vulnerable in this lane.
Yeah.
Just the nature of being melee against double stun.
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to deal with.
So the thing about PA in
Like-
lane is that usually you can kind of farm up oh, I'm getting some lag. Alright, but the thing about PA is usually you can farm up pretty easily with the dagger as we see over here. But between Bamboozler and Go Fake, they have quite a bit of range on their skills to just harass you from, right? So it's never truly safe. If you get tagged by a bushwhack into a spear, then it's just curtains for you.
I would like to see like a he has his phase boots queued up on the Mars. Well,
Mhm.
I would like to see a Helm of Iron Will. It's
Right.
been like the classic offlane item, and I think it would go a long way towards helping like the battle of attrition that's been going on.
Yeah, and I mean, it's such a prevalent item now that we even see it just picked up casually. Like, sometimes you don't even build the armlet, right? You just have that as a nice little laning item. It's a bit, the additional armor as well, very good against the Snapfire. She's not opting for, okay, finally has opted for a point in Lil Shredder. But yeah, a few different routes you can go with the Snapfire. You can go for the Cookie first or the Shredder first and stuff like that. But a bit of a tussle in the top lane. Here comes the Melodic, level 2, very scary for them to fight up into. The Batman starting to rack up those quills. Level 3 already as we miss a kill in the bot lane though. It's a tussle as well, and Bamboozler managing to get out scot-free. It looks like another bushwhack into level 2 spear combo now. And it's this Hoodwink that takes the damage. Oh, QB has to be careful here. Nice little blink, Phantom Strike away to keep herself alive.
It's a good play around as expected. There was a little bit of aggression top, and now Bristle's completely out of mana, which is going to make this Spirit Breaker's lane a lot easier. You can see that he's been kind of struggling on the CS a bit. This nature of Spirit Breaker in lane early game. Like,
Yeah. And
the
Witch
support
Doctor...
kind of can't help too much.
Yeah, Witch Doctor not the most conventional position for, but if this guy's playing it, I trust him, you know? I mean, he knows what he's doing on Witch Doctor.
Stunned on the tower.
Hang on, Devoshka getting charged up, but like you said, at bot, Go Fake, falling a little low here. Maybe a bit of a overextension there slightly. Ends up trading a lot of HP for it. But yeah. I mean, apart from the bot lane, which has been action-packed so far, just kind of quiet lanes all around. I guess the Tinker and the Void Spirit, nothing really much is gonna happen from there. But PA gotta fall again at Devoshka, under some fire right now. The Batman being the meat shield it needs to be. Yeah, I mean this analog off lane, like we mentioned, right? Just ramping up real fast, and we talked about how they're gonna need to hit this 25-minute timing. If not, they're gonna run away with it. But it really is this PA that they're looking to break up these tanky calls, right? But if this is the start that she has, it's not looking too cute.
Yeah, it's been real tough for the PA. It has had the money for the Ring of Health for quite a while now, but with the dominance that Analog have been able to put on this offlane, it's had absolutely no sort of opportunity to get over to that secret shop and buy it. And it's really hurting her sustainability.
Oh,
You
not
see,
the
like,
courier kill too.
Don't tell
No
me the
way.
courier's gone too.
Come on, Bamboozler, you got
It's the
this.
same move speed.
Nah, they can't get it. I don't think you can get it. This
did Acorn Shot hit the courier? No.
No,
it
that,
doesn't.
doesn't have the scurry as well for that boost, but yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that would have been a mile. That would have been. Oh, not.
Okay, how's the Ring of Health?
Yeah, okay, has
I
a ring of
think
health,
that's
so-
what the courier was delivering. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to make it a lot more comfortable to be laning, but yeah, that start is so rough. Like, I'd imagine like they're fine mentally and stuff. Like, it's 2 deaths first game. You're not really going to be.
Yeah, warm up, right? Warm up. It's no big
Might
deal.
be some pressure, yeah. Like,
But
It's going
there
to be
has,
a little-
I mean, the thing about analog, right, or at least these games, is you go into them, obviously you'll do your research about your opponents. Hell, you might even get to see some of the other games that they've played beforehand, and you know, every game you watch of analog, you know that their offlane is where the power is at. But actually, Creme de la Cream now being pressured himself. There was a bit of a mid lane gank going on, a typical Bamboozler move at around 6 minutes to secure the rune for Snoopy Baby. But doesn't end up amounting to much as Lupo just steps away.
I think Void Spirit was going in a little bit early. Hoodwink was trying to set up to get into position, but wasn't able to get there in time to cast spell before Tinker was leaving. A little bit unfortunate, but Mars has been left to solo, and PA is farming the hard cap, which
Yeah.
not as efficient as taking the wave, but safer. You can't really do too much in this lane. You do have the Ring of Health, but it's still very volatile.
Yeah, and
Seems
you look at the Mars
Mars
level,
is
it's
level
already
6.
level 6. So the second the second arena comes down here. She doesn't have anything to jump to at the moment, but they're looking for R in the tree line. Finds him with the spear and the bushwhack. Where's the follow-up damage? Is there any way for R to get out? Gets the cookie actually onto Bamboozler, and now it's the squirrel that has to be careful. Firing away with the little shredder, but it's go fake now on the killing spree. This man is a menace, and he can even throw down the arena. He does,
My
and
God.
QB a double kill. This is a disaster of a
That's
bot lane for
worse.
them. Just when it looked like they could turn it around off the Bamboozler, they got, well, bamboozled it seems.
And we missed it, but there was a kill in mid as well.
Oh, Snoopy Baby managed to get it
Unless
off.
I'm wrong. Unless I'm just stupid.
Yeah, no, Lupo actually
No.
Tinker
falls
has
in.
space.
Yeah, Lupo actually falls in the mid lane, which is a bit odd because I didn't expect Snoopy to have so much damage, but I guess.
Was he the first ball target? Okay, I might just be stupid.
Yes, Lupo
He was the
Lupo
first one,
died
okay.
first blood, so I don't
Voice
think.
Spirit is leading in CS. A bit of
Yeah,
that might be small.
but
cap,
I mean,
20 CS.
yeah, I think when I looked a second ago, it was pretty close. I think it might have been a few small stacks, small camp for Snoopy Baby. But it seems like the mid lane, the only one that's really going, at least passable for Analog right now. The other two lanes, they're really losing quite hard. How does this sort of Tinker Void Spirit matchup usually go? It's not one we see all the time.
I
Voice
think
is dying.
I feel like
It's
it
only Tinker favorite.
yeah, I feel like Void Spirit just tries to go even in the lane, but like you said, because of the first blood, right? Managing to just get the advantage, and now Nick under fire tried to body for Spirit Breaker there, but Batman, he knows his power with those level 3 Quill Spray. Can he get the last hit? Yes he does, level 6 as well. Batman. Oh man, not like this. Has a nice stack set up for him as well. Devoshka knows what's up. Devoshka knows what Batman needs, and Batman is here to farm that all up. He'll be starting this one up very shortly, I'm sure. And now let's take a look at the net worth real quick as we go out of the laning stage slightly. Oh! And as we go out at the laning stage and in style, it seems like just gonna fall as well. They don't even need the hoodwink sharpshooter dies before he can land it, but it looks like 2-minute pause at the moment. Gives us some breathing room to take stock of this current situation because I feel like so much chaos happening all over the map. The score is 0-8 right now, but Analog just have been non-stop foot on the gas.
This is a pretty commanding lead for 9 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it's only gonna get more,
He's
right?
actually like surprisingly doing.
Yeah, with
okay.
these stacks.
Yeah, PA is currently sitting at 2.7k, so based on the, you know, being 0-3, still managing to get a farm, but that's what we talked about with the PA, right? Still in the lane, always going to be able to get those with the dagger last hits, and has been using the blood to try and farm up some of the jungle where she can. But Batman, he's really going to catapult up ahead now, because Vanguard completed, and he's going to farm these stacks with ease, and then from there, this is what, like at least 500 gold injected.
And
Like-
after the stack, you can just sort of, with this Vanguard, just plant him in the lane,
Yeah.
and you just don't have anything to kill him, I feel like, at the moment. This Tinker hasn't really had a good enough start, and Tinker, I mean, the nature of the hero is not one that goes and takes runes and makes things happen on the side lanes. It's a pretty static hero, I would say. I don't see a hero that could really, I mean, even sit in lane against this Bristleback. I think it's just going to have complete free farm. And real ramp up from Analog, I think, incoming.
Idea. What happens when Snapfire hits 6 this game? Like, in terms of when you think about map movements and where she wants to be playing on the map, I'd imagine you want to go to the Spirit Breaker Witch Doctor lane, right?
Yeah.
Try to get a kill with Maledict on your ult. Do you
Yeah.
target the Bristleback?
Yes, because because your window to kill him is slowly growing smaller and smaller. Once he starts getting up his other items and gets tankier, that's when it gets harder, and he even has the Negotiator to back him up. So you need to move quick. But we talk about the Snapfire hitting level 6. This offlane Bara isn't even level 6 yet, standing level 5 with the okay. I've gone a bit too far here, but Whiff's on the stun. I don't know how much that matters. Now the Bulldoze as well, gonna keep him alive and healthy. So, I mean, just a bit of a tussle in the top side as Batman continues to farm up these stacks. It looks like
Can
the
you
guy's
have
TP to
the
the
levels
bottom.
currently on the Coalition?
Okay, let's...
I think he TP'd looking for some action.
Ooh,
but couldn't
who do you
find
give the
it.
tome to?
When you're
You
right
never want to
inside.
see that.
I think it has to be either Spirit Breaker or Snapfire, right?
Yeah, I mean, Death Wall is cool, but it's not really going to get you a kill. It's definitely that. Mortimer's Kisses
Okay,
or...
go fake,
you
go.
need
He's
the
going in. He has the
Ooh,
stun.
nice.
Is there a backup?
Yeah.
Covering some space for the carry there. But here comes Bamboozler with the Acorn Shot Bushwhack coming out. But do they have any follow-up? Doesn't look like it as they back up. Nice little cookie from them.
Their follow-up.
That's so scary when you see a...
uncomfortable as the PA.
Dude, when you see a Mars, like, he's soul raised and he just starts face booting towards you, that is terrifying. Now they want to set up here. Lupo TPing in, he's pinging non-stop, and so is Witch Doctor coming down as well. This is going to be a huge kill if they can get it, and Spirit Breaker charging onto Bamboozler. They have sight on this squirrel in the trees, but with these rockets coming out, they should know there's a setup coming out. Bamboozler trying to make his way out of here through the tree line, but here comes the rockets. Bushwhack to keep himself alive for now. Creme de la Cream though, in with the charge, and the last rocket should probably finish him off here. They actually commit the Mortimer's Kisses as well to zone them out even more, and Livoshka just TP'd into a death. You can't be there, little lion. This is the wrong side of the woods for you.
That is so much space for the other cores, but that is some pretty important kills to get.
Yeah. And Benji, earlier you actually mentioned that Tinker is this static hero. Like in the past, we always think about this hero as needing to hit that boost or travel timing before he can really do anything. But especially with this new kind of keen conveyance, right? He actually ends up becoming a heavier rotator than he used to be before, because that just means if you don't have such a good time in the lane, this is exactly what you look for on Lupo, right? You try and make something happen on the side lanes so the rockets and the lasers can come in and reign supreme.
Yeah, I guess so. The point I made about Tinker being sort of a static hero, I guess that if the situation sort of calls for it, which it definitely doesn't here, then it can be this sort of rotate other lanes, because you know that the PA doesn't want to do anything for a long time. Maybe can get involved in some kills, but you know, doesn't want to be taking fights the whole time. So nice to see Lupo getting involved and picking up some while they don't feel great for the coalition, still some kills that they absolutely needed to get, I think.
And already 12 minutes in, big item here for Go Fake, top of the net worth, puts it all into a Blink Dagger, which is exactly what I think he needs to do, because like I said, he needs to be the one starting a fight for his team. The spear not gonna latch. But Lupo TPing in again. And now Batman being set up on R and Nick as well. They're trying to fight up against this Bristleback, but he has a phase, my friend. Is this where you really want to be? They're trying to ward him off with the spells, but... Okay, double damage part from Snoopy Baby as well. Finds Cream in the trees and picks out the Spirit Breaker to start. Batman, he has no fear. He has no reason to be scared right now. Has the Melodic on him, sure. But this is a tanky level 8 Bristleback. You're talking about Livochka, no fear for herself as well. Walks up, just hexes his Witch Doctor. And this is looking like it's about to be a massacre. Batman finishing off that final kill, and it's 3 in the top lane, unanswered from the side of the coalition.
I feel like Bristleback's just way too strong at this point, right? I mean, Tinker Blink is going to be another huge timing because
and they have
they'll
it
finally
already,
be able
yeah.
to like, catch these low health stragglers, but until then, it's so rough to play.
Yeah, so I mean, you would have liked a better Blink review for Go Fake here, but he actually shows it in lane, which isn't that big of a deal. But actually, Go Fake has been sitting in this lane for quite a while at low HP, so I'll be expecting maybe like a smoke move in a bit, because he has Arena up at level 4 Spear as well as Rebuke. Anyone he sees is dead on his screen. Now net worth wise though, Analog's cause all top of the net worth, which is what we expected right in this early stage, especially with how good of a start they had. Lupo though, he's gonna reveal this Blink Dagger in the mid lane, and they now they have to be wary. They should be able to see this and pick this out though, but look at the warding from the side of Analog. One aggressive ward here, one ward covering the river for them, and one aggressive ward in the top lane as well. Just try to spot out whatever picks they can get.
We haven't seen this Void Spirit do too much, but he's an integral part of their like pick off outside of that ball. Right? You generally want to use Arena when you're with your team, but Void Spirit is kind of what they're using to get these isolated pickoffs outside.
Yeah, I'm really a bit surprised that.
Express rotation.
Yeah, I'm honestly quite surprised that Go Fake isn't making a move with this Blink Dagger here, but I guess he's just content to try and sit in this bot lane and pressure out QB. I do think there's a lot more that he can do with his Arena though, but they actually spot out Lupo over here. They have to be careful because the Analog supports they're running in, QB, is going to be under fire and actually almost interrupts the Tinker in the TP, but Arena comes out and they land the kill on the PA. Meanwhile, top side as well, Batman alongside Snoopy teaming up, and it looked like Snoopy didn't even have to do much throughout the Aether Remnant, but I'm not even sure if it mattered to kill that Witch Doctor in the end. Just kind of melts through that Batman.
Lupo very lucky to get out with his life there.
Yeah, that was
one of those where you know, when your opponent's playing line, you seem to get hit by it, and then when you're playing line, it never goes your way. But extremely close to finding what would have been a huge kill onto the Tinker.
Yeah, and the spear just
but
nearly
still,
off
they
the
find-
mark as well, right? Because he lands it on the
carry.
QB. TPing in has to be careful. PA very low on. Okay, Snoopy Baby with the Aether step away. Astral step, sorry. Gets out of the situation. And now
Yeah,
QB.
I mean-
Oh, okay, wait. Battle Fury completed though, so not altogether not a very bad timing from QB, despite the absolute disaster of a game that this PA has been having so far.
No
This is
boots
actually kind of
though,
ramps
I
up
suppose.
price.
Yeah, but this is what you kind of need to do to keep yourself in the game.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
you get boots, you just like just need to hope that
It's
the
way
rest
too
of
slow.
yeah the hope is that the creme de la creme on this Spirit Breaker starts to make a bit more space for you, because so far, yeah, it's just the supports just getting melted wherever they go. Another kill for this analog bot lane. How many times have we said that? Every single time we look away, it seems like we're missing something. The tower to
Putting
fall
in
most
a lot
likely
of
as well.
work.
I know that they have objective pressure, but I feel like they need to hit Rush soon on Analog actually.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what you're scared about when Snoopy Baby and like Snoopy Baby, Batman, and like
Oh wait,
Go Fake,
you just
right?
killed the Tinker?
yeah, he just solo killed the Tinker. Thanks to this, once again, this aggressive ward caught him farming the camp, and then he just goes in with all his skills. And Snoopy Baby's so strong right now, level 30. And we're talking about like the pressure mounting, right? If anything, I feel like the pressure was mounting for Analog because they're sitting in their voice comms, right? And they're pressing slash roll, and whoever loses the roll has to go kill a hero. Like every 1 minute, that's what's happening right now. Like based on what, that's my read on it. Like Batman though, under a bit of threat, has the nether strike but so tanky. But here comes Nick with the death ward. This could be a huge kill for them if they manage to get it, and they do. It's QB who picks it up, so 421 gold. Yeah, all 5 heroes, but that's exactly a move you need to make. Right now, the name for the coalition is survival, right? You just need to make it through. But here comes the arena. Go Fake, he's here to party. He doesn't want to answer that. Okay, wait, but actually Snoopy Baby picks off Nick in the backline as well. So just when it looks like it's okay for them, I mean, it's an offlane and support, so it's not the end of the world. QB still manages to walk away from there, and TV's about to farm as well, but answers from the side of Analog, not letting that kill go unpunished.
It's been super solid from Analog so far.
Axe is coming soon. It's an important kill to delay it as Snapfire comes.
Yep, one kill.
Okay, yeah, I mean, literally every 30 seconds, right? In the group chat, they're just like, hey, anybody wanna time to kill? Let's go, let's get him.
Yeah.
Bristol's
And-
this farm and it hasn't even hit Ancients yet.
Mhm.
Finally got the stack.
Okay, as we see a wind up, what's the kill looking like? Go Fake being under pressure, but actually it's Crim to the Cream trying to set up that move that doesn't work out too well for him. Snoopy Baby doesn't have skills up. We thought Lupo surely would be there. Aggressively blinks forward. Very ballsy from the Tinker here. They actually want to set up and
Good
Boozler walking
skill
forward.
buy if they're looking for him.
Yeah, but they're being a bit wary. They're being a bit wary.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Yeah, fair enough. They looks like they're trying to scout out PA, but she's completely moved to the other side of the map to farm.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Fair move.
Yeah, and very honestly, have to give credit to QB because I feel like QB just finding whatever space he can on the map, even though there are these aggressive wards, right? She's just managed to kind of, for the past 10 minutes at least, slip out of their vision, quite literally, and just not been the target of any pressure. Even though she had such a bad start early on, 4 early deaths, right, hasn't died the subsequent time. So starting to ramp up now on this PA and immediately queuing up the shard.
Actually, keeping up.
Okay,
A
a
lot
fight
better
into
than
mid
I
though,
thought.
another kill,
Oh.
finger of death and sharpshooter. Sorry Benji, the 30-second timer was up, we had to have some action, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super impressed with what I've seen from Analog. It's a clear sort of, okay, we know our game plan, we know we have to go, so we're gonna just completely control the map. We're gonna find kills as many as we possibly can while we still have this sort of window. They're not really shutting down the PA, but I mean, if PA is the only hero that is, has any sort of farm, then I don't think this game's going to go very well for the coalition.
Yeah, and it's
It's not
just...
like it's an easy PA game as well, right? You still have to deal with Void Spirit, Double Silence, you still have to deal with Interact.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
this. Look at this, look at this. This smoke immediately. They're gonna find QB. We just talked about how elusive he is, but straight away in with the arena and the skills. They punish her immediately. There is no answer from the coalition. Oh my god, Nick. Nick, this is a little scary for you.
He's
homie.
griefing.
Wait, he's going for a Shadow Blade actually on this Witch Doctor. What a Chad.
Oh, I love that. Oh, Chad.
He's
Very
like,
Chad. Another
Can
Chad
you channel
item.
Death Lord and then Shadow Blade?
yeah, but he's like, he's like, Glimmer Cape not good enough for me. I need extender. Snoopy Baby spot him out though. Aether Remnant out, but they
Nice
have to see
baby
him here.
amulet.
No, but they know he's there because he walked under a
yeah.
ward and he's gonna get blown up completely. Snoopy Baby, we talked about how this player usually just a stable kind of, but more quiet mid laner for the side of Analog, right? Absolutely popping off this game 5-0 and 5.
Also, very aggressive item build from the Hoodwink. You know, I play a bit of Hoodwink, but the Maelstrom first is not one you see often. But
Yeah, they,
you know, I can see it when you're just rolling your opponents this hard. It's like yeah, more damage, bit of mixed damage in there. Sure, why not?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not like they have any shortage of disables, right? It's really just
Exactly.
right now the side of the coalition they're so squishy they actually can't stand up and fight. Like you said, it's already a hard PA game, but it's looking like it's gonna be a hard. Okay, no, they get it. It's just a courier. It's just a courier. But they're posturing up for this mid tower now. They want to go forward. Actually, Stupid Baby gets caught by the charge through. Is there a follow-up stun? No, there isn't. As Nick falls, Creep now isolated on the backline. In comes the more different Merc Kisses. They actually GG.
Yeah, I mean,
Or is he just BMing all chat?
I think.
I don't think
mean,
that was an
you're not- you
actual
can't-
GG, but Go Fade gonna come in with the spear and QB as well, gonna fall. They try and fight, but there's no fight left in there. The only one left is Lupo, but all he can fire
GG?
out. I don't think that was a GG. That was a
Probably
bit.
just
Well, I'm pretty sure you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't cancel. I think that's against the rules, isn't it?
No, but okay. So what we do know is the fact that I think this Witch Doctor is a stand-in, so he might just be a bit unfamiliar with the rules. Maybe he
Oh,
might
okay,
just be
okay.
saying that as
Yeah,
like like trying to be a little funny, you know. But like obviously the league they take that quite seriously. But we can just as in, I'm not a commissioner. I'm not like a admin or anything. So I'm not gonna. I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
close.
this game is. This game is. I think it's
Classic
pretty
Animal
unlikely
stuff, I
that
guess.
the coalition come back and win this one. I mean, maybe if they do come back, maybe that would be cause for a little bit of
A
a
drama.
little bit of discussion. But yeah, I think at this moment, this game pretty one-sided.
Oh,
Unless we see some major misplays from Analog. Oh god, that arcane room.
guys.
A nice
Beats.
purple inventory from the Void Spirit.
Oh yeah, he's going thematic, but Cream de la Cream, they want to set up on the Batman. I say that though, but he's so slow. He's getting slow. My
Who's
looks
setting up on
good.
the
Yo, Batman, gotta be careful here. Actually, wish after throwing out a stun on. Oh, it's onto some creeps. Okay, but Batman, like you said, the setup of the hit now. Go fake with the spear in and the blink. The Fan of Knives actually doesn't latch, so no breaks coming
Spear
out.
3
And
seconds.
here comes the spells coming out from Snoopy Baby in already. Here onto QB and Nick is getting the death ward off, but it's his death that he's won. Like, okay, they call GG. Is that actual
Or they
GG?
actually called GG.
Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Is that actual GG? It doesn't look like it, but what is going? Oh, I can't all chat, but that's a bit.
Radiant's top tower is under
I don't know about that one, but I mean, like Benji said, Analog firmly in the driver's seat here. Yeah, Snoopy Baby starting to ask like, what's going on here, Coalition? Nick, you can't call GG. Yeah, I don't think he's too familiar.
He didn't know, okay.
Yeah, okay, well, so they're gonna keep fighting on, obviously, just try to fight for their pride over here. Yeah, apologizing. I'm sure he just meant that in like good fun, right? But he probably wasn't too aware of the rules. But it's all good. Yeah, stand in. So our suspicions were correct. It's fine, we don't listen. Stand.
Understand.
Eesh,
Wow.
bamboozler.
Look at this. The 24-minute rush, 25-minute rush we were talking about, but slightly different
This is
game
first
state than I
version,
think we
not
might have
second. That's what it
expected.
Yeah, the game actually relatively even if you don't count the 19k
Oh.
gold lead and the additional one behind their
Yeah.
kill score. If you really like
Three
just,
to three.
yeah,
Very
at
nice.
least-
He's went hard enough.
we already missed 3-2-2 actually, but yeah, literally the 30-second dice roll. I feel like every minute that goes by, right, they reduce the time by like 2 seconds. So it's like 30 seconds to 28 to like 25 to like they just keep going down. Every single just kills popping off all across the map. There's been 35 kills so far, and they're pushing high ground while simultaneously getting 2 kills on the map. Batman under a bit of threat though. The Phantom Knives could do a lot of damage, but Lupo walking forward. Where are you going, my friend? Tinker, that is not where you want to be. And
They have buybacks. Bristle is out of mana for the first life. That's like
yeah, for the first
silver
life.
lining.
So maybe with their buybacks they can perhaps get an Aegis kill, but I don't know. This is not looking too good. And you know, Nick,
I
he
think
was...
if I was Coalition right now, I'd be saying, listen, let's just reset game 2. You know, pick some different heroes and we'll try again. But they were they've been thoroughly sort of outplayed at every turn
That's the BKB
so far.
Okay, yeah, Mars actually opting to use the BKB here to stop, but a nice 3-man stop from Livoshka on the 3! They just melt! Livoshka, what the...
Livoshka.
So many times we see
And
Livoshka
yeah.
playing these healing supports, right? Just playing these like backlines, saving Batman and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean she can save Batman, or she can save Analog in another way, puts the team on the back, ravages them quite literally, and Snoopy Baby in with the Aghanims, Resonant Pulse just wipes them apart. And all Lupo can do is fire away his little rockets, but when that's the only thing you're threatened by, it's not really gonna look too scary against the side of such a tanky Analog. Whew,
Only
what
one
a...
tip for the line. Little
Yeah.
bit disappointed by that.
Yeah, what a...
If I was that line, I would want at least 3 or 4, maybe
Yeah.
some from the enemy team as well.
Yeah, not gonna lie. If it's not going both ways, it's not good enough for me.
Yeah. Second, lane of Rax about to be claimed. Still the Aegis up on the Bristle.
Criminal Cream with
charging.
charge through, no, pretty good one. And the bash as well, go fake, could fall a little low, but QB can't get into the fight. Actually, Phantom Knives nothing.
Alive.
Doesn't manage to get in, and QB just basically walled out of the fight quite literally. The buyback's coming through though. They want to make this fight happen for themselves. Here comes Creme de la Cream though, the charge in, but immediately glide here from this footway. Bamboozler, so farmed. Livoshka running forward, sacrificing her life for the squadron. But it's 2 buybacks. That is a really another tip coming out.
Oh, come on.
Now then you tip. Come on, man. That's not
Nah,
cute.
nah, come
Now you tip.
God, look at the score lines on Analog. Just
This is
some disgusting stat
This
lines
is
up and
massive.
down.
Literally for every kill that they get, Analog just answers back with 10. Now 28k gold net worth.
1k GPM
Yeah,
lead already.
And Creme de la Cream still hasn't been able to make it to his first item here, as well as this Witch Doctor. Both trying to rush. They're both in competitions to try and see who can get this Shadow Blade as soon as possible. Somehow it looks like this Witch
Interestingly
Doctor
enough, I
is
think the
winning.
Witch Doctor's gonna win that.
Yeah, that's okay, Snoopy Baby, he's trying to set out on the bot lane, but he doesn't know he's staring down so many members on the side of Coalition. He might have to be a bit careful here. But as I say that, goes in with the Aether Rampant, so much damage, immediately burst down. They could turn around here with charge though, QB in with the Phantom Strike, but a charge through onto all 3 of them. No spells on the side of Snoopy Baby though, he has to be careful here. Where's the answer? It's not there. Lupo gonna fall to the Astral Stab, and the Ghost Scepter as well, keeping him alive. Go Fake in for the finish. Creme de la Cream actually gonna get caught up by the Aether Rampant. It can't even get him.
God.
That is not what you want to see. I'm getting some lag here actually.
Snoopy
but-
baby.
so
Oh.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, this is getting heated.
Yeah,
That's a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit BM. You're up.
That's,
You're up 43 to 5. You're all chatting easy. I'm not sure. Not too sure about that one.
Alright, Snoopy Baby, we were all rooting for you there, but that was not... I don't condone that statement, and yeah, the GG's
Yeah,
called.
GG.
So called by the captain, this should be it this time. The mental damage surely done there, but a bit uncalled for from Snoopy Baby, but maybe feeling a bit heated, right? Because there were those multiple GG calls as well from the Witch Doctor. Sure, he didn't know
Yeah.
the rules, but those must have been a bit, like, you know, you saw Snoopy Baby asking about it, he was like, oh man, but I mean, the game honestly has been over for quite some time already at that point. And the Norwegian-Italian coalition of dreams, they're gonna have to be hoping for a better game than that, because it looked like an absolute massacre for the side of Analog.
in
Yep.
this classic Analog did 2 members of their team with no deaths that game. That's rough.
Yeah, I
This
don't...
is one of those
Yeah.
games that's just soul breaking to play.
I mean, it started in the lanes. It feels like Analog really. I mean, it feels like they won all 3 lanes, and that
Yeah.
off lane especially just absolutely disastrous for Coalition. And but all credit to Analog, really, you sort of using that as a platform to just like completely take over this game and not allow Coalition have any chance of ever coming back into this one.
Yeah, I think from like you said, start to finish, right? It was just we said the timer was ticking down, and Analog, like you said, they knew their game plan, they knew they had to put on the pressure, and they really did. They really just took turns to make kills happen over and over across the map and never let up. Oh, a sneeze. Ah, jeez. It's what happens too early in the morning. Alright, so have any of you watched any Italian, Norwegian Italian Coalition of Dreams games yet?
I have not.
I've skimmed through their games,
Okay.
but I haven't like fully watched them.
What do you have for us? Do you know any juicy information about what this team could bring? Because honestly speaking, I mean, apart from QB kind of finding a bit of like nice farm and like spacing properly, it kind of looks like this team, or at least for this game, they're looking a bit disconnected.
And I think part of that is a standard.
Okay.
When you're a position 4 player, who's tends like just the archetype of the role tends to be the one that's more of the playmaking type, and it's not someone you're used to playing with. It's like can be pretty difficult. At least
Right.
like I know that if we replaced our position 4 with like a stranger, like it would be pretty hard for us to play because we're always scared to do stuff right.
I mean,
And
we
your
did do
position
that.
was also Witch Doctor, who is
Benji.
not very mobile around the map compared to something like a Tusk or an Earth Spirit.
Yeah, for sure. So the Witch Doctor, I mean, even though it's a comfort hero, and of course Nick, he was this guy like, oh, you're gonna let me get my Witch Doctor. He doesn't manage really to quite do it for the squadron here. I kind of maybe would have liked to see a Snapfire top along with the Spirit Breaker instead, because I feel like that could really amp up the aggression on Batman in the earlier levels. Instead, you kind of have this Spirit Breaker and Witch Doctor, which is kind of a clunky lane and not able to do much, and Batman, once he gets that Vanguard, it's just downhill from there, right? Just manage to farm out those stacks, catapult himself upwards in terms of net worth, and the Snapfire, as much as she kind of held down the lane for the PA, I mean, it didn't really amount to much, right? Because Goldfake and Bamboozle, they were still getting like a kill a minute.
Yeah, it's just such a rough thing to play. Like, I'd imagine it's a little bit harder to lane as the Mars Hoodwink against the, like, Maledicts, because PA tends, like, even in lane, when you have Blink Strike and Dagger,
Yeah,
can go get rid of like 200, 300 HP during the cast stun.
yeah.
And I feel like that makes it a lot more scary to go for these early kill attempts before you get arena right, and that could kind of really stabilize the PA's lane a little bit.
Yeah, I do want
That might have been a consideration as well. Like, you have the Snapfire Barrow, which is a lot more threatening than the Witch Doctor, because Spirit Breaker by himself doesn't have the most damage in lane, and then you just have the Maledict with the PA bottom. That makes it a little bit more stable. I think mid lane mostly went fine, like went even. You know, Void Spirit took a large small camp stack, got the extra 500 gold, but other than that, it went pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Lupo ever died in lane, right? Like you can see that this man knows what he's doing on the Tinker. He still tried to make it work for the team with the ganks and whatnot, but at that point, I feel like the rest of the lanes just went so catastrophically that there's no setup to be had. There really wasn't any way of kind of like bringing the Tinker into the fights. I think me and Benji were talking about it briefly as well. Like, you can have these rotations with the Tinker laser as well as the high levels in rockets, but when you don't have someone to start the fight, like, who's your fight starter? It's Witch Doctor on the cask, it's PA with a dagger blink in, you're blinking into a Mars Hoodwink who have just completely decimated you throughout the laning stage. It's like, that's not gonna happen, man. Oh damn, the guest command. No, I haven't updated commands in damn.
Exposed.
Shut up, dude. Give me a break. I just woke up for this shit.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you guys are up so early. What time is it in your respective?
He
Time
woke up
zones.
before 5 o'clock.
6 a.m. for me.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Currently 10 p.m. here in the great UK land.
Great UK man.
Great UK land. Yeah, hopefully, Coalition can bounce back a little bit for game 2 because the first one
Yeah,
Hopefully they're not too discouraged about that one. Hopefully it's one that they can sort of put behind them and just sort of.
yeah. I
reset for
want
this
I
next
want
game.
like a close game too. You know, I feel like I
Mhm.
got up bright and early just to watch this match. It's not pretty. Like I'm sure this is not what the Norwegian Italian coalition of dreams quite expected as well. They had a bit of a solid plan going into it, but they really just kind of lacked the laning prowess, right? Which is where ultimately where they fell short. Okay, so
Taking a little break
terms of
before game 2
adjustments,
starts.
what would you like to see aside from having more stable lane?
um
Or do you think that's just like the main thing that they need to focus on?
I just think they need it. It kind of looked like there was nobody making any decisions. I don't know whether that's true, and I don't know whether that's harsh, but it felt like the only coordinated move that I saw them make was that 5-man goal to Batman. Apart from that, it just felt like they were just getting picked off non-stop. Of course, that could be attributed to Analog just like being all over them, but they just kind of got dominated in every single way, right? Like the vision game as well. Like Analog were able to play repeatedly with all these wards, like so deep into the jungle, so deep into their territory, which allowed these picks. So it starts from the base. You kind of need to build it up. You need to get that vision established. You need to make sure there's safe spaces for your PA to farm or whoever needs to farm, and you need to make sure you get up in those goon squads and make what you can happen, right? It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Playing with the actual kind of game plan in mind, yeah.
Yeah, like
This one, it's like you can see the game plan is kind of there. Like you have Tinker TPing on top of Barrow with like 2 teamfight ultis, and then PA is just also doing whatever she needs to do.
Yeah, the idea is that this Bara gets off the ground and then he just can charge in Lorbit style and then like not be afraid of anything, right? But I mean, you can't have that
The
when your
lanes are not
SB has nothing at all. Kenny,
Also, I think it's I didn't notice in the draft, but they saw the Bristleback and they banned Spectre.
uh-huh.
I don't know, like, if they pick Mars Bristle, unless they're scared of Sneepy playing Bristle mid, I don't know if it's like.
No, so my
indicative
read
of
on it.
anything. Like,
Okay, so the thing
it feels
is,
weird to me.
the thing is,
At least
Lupo.
seeing, like, knowing Analog that closely.
The thing about Lupo is that he still played that game pretty well on the Tinker. You can tell this man plays Tinker and you can tell he's comfortable with it. It's just at a point where literally one Acon shot from the Hoodwink, who has more net worth than you by the way, like can spot you and like when a Hoodwink is not scared to run up to your tier 2 and Acon shot where she thinks you are and there's no punish whatsoever, suddenly your game as Tinker is just completely warped, right? Because no matter how safe you play, there's just a lion like Livoshka blinking in fearlessly under your tier 4s. There's Bamboozled shooting bushwhacks out. Like, how do you play this game anymore? I feel like they really tried to emphasize and protect the Tinker pick with the Spectre. And apart from that, they felt like they weren't that scared. Maybe they were a bit more confident in their lanes, but obviously it didn't pan out that way. So I understand what you mean by the Spectre, man. I was a bit confused by it as well, but, you know, all for the Tinker, I guess.
Just stay protected, I guess.
Yeah, I believe Benji, you want to take a short break, right? Oh, I believe he's already gone for that. Oh, okay.
No, I might need to restart my computer and my internet. It seems to be cutting out a little bit, so I'll
Alright,
do that in a sec now.
Okay, wait. I updated the guest command. Let me.
Hell.
Okay, hell yeah.
No, so mean.
Wow.